delighted to be at this Roundtable Foreign Direct Investors. I'm also particularly excited, and that excitement is predicated on what the DG Pebec said earlier on. The amount of money in this room can also perceive the aroma. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to take some of this money with me as I go back to Enugu. Let me immediately commend the DG Pebec and her team, the Office of the Vice President, for facilitating this investors forum. I want to say that for us in Enugu State, we have made an ambitious growth projection. So you can see why the importance of a forum like this for us cannot be overemphasized. We came in with a growth projection of a sevenfold. So we hope to grow our economy sevenfold in the next 6 years. That's quite huge. A compounded annual growth rate of 27%. But we recognized immediately that that growth would come from private sector, from investors like the people sitting in this room. So investment for us is like the lifeblood of our growth. So and then we have also set forth as done, as basically as government, we've been able to try to put frameworks, put policies, and also ensure that there is the ease of doing business in Enugu. Enugu has a rich and long history. Enugu at some point, as most of us may already know, was the economic hub of this country over 115 years ago, and was also at several times the administrative hub. So what we're essentially doing is to try and bring her back to that preeminent state. We said that we want Enugu to be the premier destination of investment, businesses, tourism, and of course, living. And of course, the growth we even speak about as a country, we recognize that that growth would happen from the peripheral, from the subnationals. And for us in Enugu, we know that the investment will not happen because we wish it to happen. So we just can't wish it into existence. We recognize the fact that we need to work closely with the prospective investors to see how we can help them de-risk, not just creating the enabling environment, but also de-risk the investment flow. So that is why we're most times interested in having our skin in the game. We've curated quite a number of projects across different sectors to bankability. So if you're coming to Enugu, we're going to be presenting you with opportunities that you may not need to spend so much time doing detailed feasibility, because we've not just only done a concept note or pre-feasibility, we've also done in most of these projects full feasibility, and you can take these feasibilities to bank because they were done by competent person. And so we have also, as government, been able to invest hugely in infrastructure because given, frankly, my background being business, I understand that businesses are not charity. They are not Father Christmas. They are interested in returns on investment. And so, which is why we would get involved with them, understand fully how we can work with them to de-risk certain aspects of whether it's finance or commercial. We've had quite a number of FDIs that have come into Enugu within the last 1 year, and the way we've made this work is largely based on looking at, we're not sure about the commerciality of this business. How do we work with the state government? In some cases, we provide the offtake that they need to make that entry. And we've had quite a number of companies that have come into Enugu as their first entry point to the country. And so my job here today is to encourage all of you to understand that Enugu is open for business. That is what I'm here to do, to also inform you that we're going to work with you every step of the way. We're not going to abandon you. And when it comes to transparency, that again you can take for granted. It's in our DNA. We work with you to ensure that we work out a structure that it makes sense for the business. My team and I understand the value of being accountable, being transparent, making sure that the investors have access to the right information. In terms of having a one-stop shop, the Enugu State Investment Development Authority is that one-stop shop where we can help you. Enugu being an old city, we're fortunate to have almost all the federal government regulatory agencies in Enugu. So in just one location, you're able to be attended to. So in terms of registering your business, we'll shield you from all the other federal agencies. We'll take up your application and ensure that you get all the necessary licenses and approvals that you need. When it comes to construction permits and, of course, procuring your title documents, if you are going to be interested in land, that also happens seamlessly. In Enugu, from applying for your title document and getting issued your title document takes 72 hours through our Enugu Geographic Information System. And some weeks ago, I signed a land regulation law, which enables an applicant monitor or benchmark the service provider based on the number of hours. Under our land regulation law, we have stated the number of hours you need for every land application you make and where to escalate if it exceeds that. So we've also built some measurable indicators into the law. So in a nutshell, there are a huge number of sectors you can invest in Enugu. Enugu, with its abundance waterfalls, network of caves, lends itself favorably as the #1 tourism destination in this country. And again, with our scenic landscape, you couldn't think of anywhere else to visit in terms of tourism. In terms of real estate, we're essentially doing the single largest real estate in this country today, I would say. We're building the Enugu New City, which is fully serviced, and by all means, I would urge everyone here in this room to take advantage of huge investment opportunities that is available. So all the infrastructure is provided in this new Enugu City. You have your electricity, you have your water, you have your internet, a high-speed internet access. So we're running fiber, we're running gas, a central sewage system. So everything is serviced. And we also essentially have districts for those who want to build their industries and site their money. In the last 6 months, we have the European Industrial Park, the European Business Park in Enugu, where again you just need to walk in with your briefcase and set up. The warehouses are there. You don't need to come with your power. You don't need to come with your water. It's already made. So in terms of disposable income, I don't need to flog the fact that we're by far the state that invests by far the largest in the social sector. And the idea for us is to see how we can allow our people more disposable income. In Enugu State, this year alone, we're going to be spending close to $1 trillion on our capex, right? So imagine that you're coming into a city or a state where you have over $1 trillion being spent. I'm sure as a manufacturer, you want to have some of that money. We're going to be spending over 30% of that money to ensure that our social sector is strong. Again, we understand certain things that businesses cannot absorb, things like security. Arguably, Enugu is by far the safest city to live in today in this country. We've built a robust security architecture that allows you, that enables us from our command and control center. We have a clear line of sight of what is going on in the state, not just within the city, but I dare say across the entire state, all our gateways, our forests, we are able to pick any target wherever they are in the city. So we have also, all these cameras are AI, by the way, AI embedded. You must have heard about our smart green school. That's again our intervention in the education sector. We're building experiential learning centers. These centers are where for us the gown and the town embrace themselves. So we have our professors in the university training our young people to equip them with relevant skills that the industries within Enugu need. So in terms of labor and skill set, we're quite huge on that. So you don't need to import your skills when you're coming into Enugu. We have quite a number of innovation incubation hubs where, again, we nurture our young talents. Again, for some of us who may not have had the opportunity to visit Enugu, we're churning out over 40,000 ICT skilled young professionals every year in Enugu. We have by far the most robust BPOs, the business process outsourcing. In fact, the ICT enabled outsourcing, they're all taking place in Enugu. And I'm only told I have less than 10 minutes to pitch Enugu, but we could go on if I have more time. But we're going to stay back. My CEO of the State Investment Development Authority is with me. We're going to take questions, be able to provide clarifications on different sectors, whether it's agriculture. We have 300,000 land bank. So if you're interested in agriculture, you don't need to come and start looking for land. In the last 6 months, we've been able to work with those interested in commercial farming. We've given up to 64,000 commercial farmland. We still have quite a lot left. So these things are already made. The DG talked about customized incentives, and that is what we're interested in. We work with you to understand what your business may require in order for you to set up. How would you be able to make money? How would you be able to ensure that there is good return on investment? And that's like what we are interested in as government. If you're looking for a trusted local partner, that state that you must come is Enugu, because we're going to be with you all the way. So I urge our investor here, I'm going to stay back, my team will stay back. We're willing to take your questions on the different sectors that you may want to invest in. But thank you very much, and let me also finally say, Enugu is open for business. Thank you.